仕方ないわね。ここは私が相手をしてあげる。はぁ？
Saguardo. 1秒経過。2秒経過。3秒経過。4秒経過。5秒経過。6秒経過。7秒経過。8秒経過。9秒経過。10秒経過。時は動き出す。
油断したわ。
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we'll talk about another strategy people are using to beat Taima 5 VR, the slow strategy. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. In my previous video, I talked about the HP recovery strategy, as it's fairly easy to do, and even if you're about to die, you can make a comeback. But there are times when this strategy will fail, mainly when the enemy has the skill cooldown increase on hit. When you use a team that focuses on slowing the enemy, you will be able to easily avoid the enemy's attacks. However, the enemy is still moving, and their attacks can hit you, depending on your stats and what step you're on. One hit might be enough to nuke you, so be sure to use damage reduction supporters. Haruka, Hisui, Punisher Yukikaze, Sharia, Rika, and Nana are some of the best damage reduction supporters you can use. Range attackers work very well with this kind of strategy, because most of Masked Taimanin's attacks are melee. Yukikaze, Emily, Astaroth, and Micah are able to deal a huge amount of damage, while the other two characters keep the enemy immobilized. It's recommended to have invincibility, damage reduction, and HP recovery on your slow inducing characters, because they may receive a hit or two while keeping the enemy in place. Slowing enemies is good and all, but you can actually freeze the enemy if you have the right supporters and equipment. Introducing Little Witch Sue, that supporter you probably skipped. This has a passive on its active, which grants melee attacks a 25% chance to increase the duration of one debuff for 2 seconds. Players are using Momochi Nagi to abuse this effect. Her Mirage Strike makes a clone that performs additional attacks, effectively doubling the chance of proccing this effect. But there's actually a better way to do this. These are the butterfly weapons. If I am not mistaken, these limited weapons were only available in a gacha banner for the JP version. Fortunately, we received these in global a while ago, and if you were one of the lucky people who got them, let me tell you that you can break the VR mode if you pair them with Little Witch Sue. You see, these weapons have a passive which increases speed. That is a very rare effect for a weapon, and since it's a passive, that means this effect is permanent. Right now, there are 5 characters who can wield these weapons. 3 of them can use this effectively with Little Witch Sue, but among all of them, Anne Rose is the one I consider the best. She has naturally fast basic attacks, and when you equip her with Kaha Hirako, she becomes lightning fast. With 2 HP recovery skills and her own speed buff, she is able to stop time for your opponents. To finish, let's check which characters can reduce the enemy's speed, starting with characters that the AI can play effectively as speed control supporters. The first is Asagi. Her Kojinka is the main skill you will use, and most players like to go red with her to extend the duration. But if you commit to red, you can also use Monika, which also reduces the enemy's speed. Murasaki has 3 skills which reduce speed in Tentacle Anchor, Tentacle Mine, and Tentacle Hold. I recommend going for a green build with Tentacle Anchor and Tentacle Mine. Tentacle Hold requires a blue build and has a longer cooldown than Tentacle Anchor. Emily is another viable option if you want to use this strategy. Her Ground Shock and Drone Shocker both reduce the enemy's speed with 2 red supporters, and her Healing Field will increase the restoration frequency if you decide to go full red. Noah has only 1 skill which inflicts the slow debuff, her Edgar's Enigma. Normally, I wouldn't recommend a character with only 1 slow debuff on their kit, but this effect activates when Noah is using a blue build, and this color allows her to recover HP very quickly with her Amanda's Exile and her Robert's Revenge. Felicia is another character that only has 1 skill with speed control, but just like Noah, she has enough tools on her kit to recover HP, which makes her a viable option. Anne Rose is the last character the AI can control efficiently. If you're not using her with Little Witch Sue, then go for a green build. Her Devour not only recovers HP, it also reduces the enemy's speed, and her Madocin also has a healing effect. To finish with her, her Divine Wrath will electrocute the target, reducing their defense. Then we have characters which induce slow, but you want to use yourself. Most of them don't have HP recovery, or have some other flaw which makes them ineffective when used by the AI. Oboro has a speed reduction effect with all 3 colors: Vicious Slash for green, Weak Slash for blue, and Hypnosis Seal for red. Among all skills, Hypnosis Seal is the best, and you can use it with the other colors too. Asuka isn't really my first choice for this kind of content, due to her lack of HP recovery, but that isn't a big problem when using a blue build, and she has 2 skills which reduce the target's speed: Spiral Blast and Kill 'Em All Missiles. Kiara is probably one of the best characters to use as a slow supporter, since she has 3 skills which can reduce the enemy's speed. Her Snow Veil, Frigid Zone, and Blossoming Fog will keep the enemy in place for a long time. Ingrid's Evil Flare and Evil Blazing Blossom will reduce the enemy's speed if you use a red build. She can deal a good amount of damage, but lacks HP recovery. Rin is another character which reduces speed with all colors. She has HP recovery when using a green build and can inflict Electrocute, which reduces the target's defense. Shizuru is another good option to slow down the enemy, especially if you have her Frozen Valkyrie, as it inflicts freeze and doubles the damage on the next attack the enemy receives. Her Sprout Guardian not only has a healing effect, it also reduces the enemy's speed, and with her multi-hit attacks, she can reduce super armor very quickly. Then we have other characters like Sakura, Yukikaze, Rinko, Tokiko, Sora, and Nagi, who can also reduce the enemy's speed, but I would avoid these characters due to their lack of HP recovery and how their skills work. Along with this, I'll be uploading another video showing actual footage of this strategy, and I can tell you after doing some testing that Kiara, Asagi, Murasaki, Emily, and Anne Rose are, in my opinion, the best slow inducing characters. And that's it, guys. I'll keep bringing videos about popular strategies used to beat this mode, since not everyone has the perfect setup for every kind of strategy, and the more ways we have to beat challenging contests, the better. If there's something else you would like me to talk about, let me know in the comments, and if you know more strategies or tips, be sure to share them in the comment section as well. See ya!